Galatasaray won 3-1 against Alanyaspor in a very tough game. It is always difficult to come from Champions League games, especially knockout stage and extra times. So the most important thing here was the 3 points and not necessarily how we played. Thinking about that we are going into March with a very difficult fixture. Alanyaspor started the game best. They didn't create any huge chances, but they almost came to chances. But then slowly Galatasaray began to control the game, and we got the disallowed goal where Leroy Sané turns the play perfectly to the left side, following the pass, plays Torreira through, who passes to Sacha Boey in a tap-in. Unfortunately, it was just offside on Torreira, but that play was amazing. It was beautiful to watch, uh, especially from Leroy Sané. And then Barış Alper hit the post. Barış Alper had control on Lima, their center back, and he could have been sent off on that situation if Barış Alper had fallen. He tried to cross or pass into the box there, and their goalkeeper um, took it to the post and corner. So we almost scored there as well. Leroy Sané again passed to Eren Elmalı, who it was no one in the box, clearly in the box. Osimhen was a bit far away, I think, and Sacha Boey came on the back post a bit lately, so it was a bit difficult for Eren there. I think more people should have followed that when Eren got the ball, but again, it's beautiful pass by Leroy Sané. Leroy Sané is a player who you either will, take your hair off when he does something, or you will just say, wow, what does he do? He always plays on these small marginal risks, Leroy Sané. So therefore, yeah, he's a complicated player, but today I think he played great because almost everything we created came from his side. And then Alanyaspor hit the post as well, shot behind the midfield, and Uğurcan Çakır, what a save! Because he barely touched it, and if he had not touched that, I think that would have been a goal. And then Galatasaray scored in the just before the first half was finished with Sacha Boey. Again, it came from the right side with Leroy Sané first, and then Torreira passed to Sacha Boey, who finished it beautifully with his left foot. In the second half, I thought that Gabriel Sara was going to be subbed off because he looked extremely tired. We need to remember that he almost played even 90 minutes against Konyaspor, started against Juventus in the both games, and he always runs a lot. So it is expected that he was tired. So I was a bit surprised that he didn't get subbed out after the first half, because Alanyaspor just run through our midfield so easily. It was just one turn from the right or left side and into the middle, and our midfielders was completely gone. And again, Alanyaspor started the second half good, and then they scored from a cross where Singo struggled to take out this man as a center back. And from there on, we started to think, are we going to lose points today? Because we didn't, from that period, Alanyaspor looked more sharp. But then again, of course, we started to come, like in the first half, started to eat us up in the game again. And then, we scored a 2-1 goal with Torreira. And it's Sacha Boey who is running behind the defense there, heading it to Osimhen, who trying to take this bicycle kick. It ends up with the assist to Torreira, who finishes it perfectly. I think it was his first game in the league where he scored and got an assist. So great for Torreira. I think Torreira played great today. It is not easy to play midfielder when you have Barış Alper as a second striker up front, and then Gabriel Sara, who was very tired. Um, and we created much from Torreira intercepting the ball, winning the ball. So, and we need, yes, Torreira was weak against Juventus away, but it was good at the home game. So we don't need to take it too far that, after one game, yes, he has not been his best this season, but he has played many great games. He played great against Liverpool, for example, and Juventus. I expect more from him, of course, but to find a player like Torreira is not easy. It is not easy. And he celebrated it so nice with the fans. So yeah, I love Torreira. I love Torreira. And he was captain today. It looked so good on him. And then the 3-1 goal came from Osimhen. Again, he's pressing. It is not many players like him, man, who is scoring from nothing. I have never seen a player who are either scoring or assisting so many goals or creating 100% chances when you don't have the ball. The opponents have the ball and then you're winning it, and then it is a 100% chance, or it's a goal, or he gets an assist. That's so rare in today's football. You don't see that often. And he did it against Bodø/Glimt, he did it against Liverpool, he so many times against Liverpool, he did it against Juventus 3 times. Come on, man. It is just unbelievable, this Osimhen. Yeah, just incredible. I don't know. It's just to create something from nothing is just so difficult. So yeah. But let's talk about our 11, because we started with Sacha Boey or Ujan Chakar in goal, Sacha Boey as right back, Singo and Sanchez as center backs, Eren Elmalu as left back, Gabriel Sara and Torreira as central midfielders, Leroy Sané and Noah Lang as wingers, Baris Alper as this second striker or 10 or striker. He was a bit everywhere and much on the left side as well. And Victor Osimhen on top. So Okanoja didn't rotate too much. The thing here, let's talk about the player performances. Singo, I want to start with him. I have a option on that, or a meaning about Singo. If you want to use Singo, I think to get the absolute best of him, it is not black and white everything. But Wilfred Singo, I think he needs to play with two center backs all the time, because he's not only risk with the ball, because he takes the ball up with him. And for example, the Juventus goal, or the assist he got, fantastic assist. But look how he just take the balls up with him, and then the two center backs are a bit wide. To have that comfort that it is always two center backs there when he's taking the ball up with him is so important. And you saw it in his positional play. It was sometimes he was just going up to the central midfielder, and there was a huge space on his side, or he just ran to the right side. You clearly see that Wilfred Singo is a center back in a 3-back system. Clearly, if you want to use him as a central midfielder, for example, I don't know. The thing there, even Szoboszlai said this, that it is almost holiday to play as a right back, because as a central midfielder you always need to scan. And when you played winger or center back and the profile type of Wilfred Singo, it is very difficult to always scanning and look around you in the tight spaces. Then I think he should drop more down and help the center backs in the build-ups, and then have two central midfielders or whatever if you're going to play him as a central midfielder. But Wilfred Singo, I think he needs two center backs around him, or if he's going up, that you have a player like Lemina who is holding back and taking his position or helping him when he's running out of position, because today you saw it so clearly. He played good, I'm not saying that, but he throws away or gives away too much space when he's running, everywhere. I think Davinson Sanchez played great. He really helped and supported Singo a lot, I think. Sasha Boye starting to come into his good old form, I think. So we need to be a bit more patient with him. But I think Okanoja really wants to get him into the starting 11. Torreira played great today. Gabriel Sara, if you're thinking about it, he started so many games in a row and is always running a lot. Today he barely could stand on his foot. And people are saying, yeah, but he couldn't even pass the 2 meters passes. Yes, but that's because when you're tired as well, your brain, your oxygen, it's not only that, maybe you have a sore hip or whatever, or your legs are tired. Then to just hit those passes is very difficult because you need to have that other foot very hard on the ground or whatever, how the technique is. So yeah, Leroy Sané created so much. Again, talking about him, always playing on these small details. Either he's losing the ball and you're getting a counter away, or he's creating incredible things almost from nothing. But he was very important in that role. Noah Lang, he's best when you set him up in these 1-versus-1 situations. It was not often we could do that, and then he became more like a bit playmaker winger, where he tried to find the central midfielders, where he kept the ball, and I think he did a great job, to be honest. Baris Alper as that number 10 or second striker, I think he tried a lot, and he's fighting, he's tiring up the defense. Lima could have got the second yellow card. So I don't think Baris Alper necessarily played bad, but when you are having this formation with Baris Alper there, and Noah Lang tried to go a bit inside and support him, but it is some, what can I say, huge weaknesses there as a team when you don't have that number 10 who can receive the ball in the final third and be comfortable on the ball, playing, for example, the strikers or the wingers through. It was Leroy Sané who did that today. You really need to have that. I don't think Baris Alper is that kind of a player, I think, especially against very tough teams. But then, if Gabriel Sara had been informed today, or not formed, but not been so tired, he could have supported him or whatever, It is, you can never say never to something, but I don't think this is the solution. My solution, if you're asking me, is that our best defense is the pressing up front. With our Osimhen is fantastic at that, but also when Yunus are supporting him, you see the big difference between Yunus and Gabriel Sara in that pressing, and that's where everything starts for us. If that pressing is weak in our team, it is very easy for the center backs to take one of our mans out, and then it's overload everywhere on the pitch. So yeah, we really need to either get Yunus back in form before the Besiktas game and the Liverpool games and so on the rest of the season, or you need to find another solution, because Gabriel Sara is not that player. If you are going to use Gabriel Sara there, you need to change the system, I think. So yeah, Asprilla came in, and I think when you're seeing Asprilla as a number 10, he is so much better than as a winger, and Asprilla got the potential. You clearly see it, and he needs to just adapt. Maybe he is the solution, because Asprilla is a very promising player in that offensive midfielder role. I don't think he's... Yes, he can play as a winger, but for me, it's 100% as a... He needs to play centrally. I think in the future he can be like this, even as this Gabriel Sara central midfielder. Much higher potential there than as a winger, if you ask me. And Asprilla showed that today. His vision, his dribbling, his passing. He's a very promising player and exciting player. So yeah, Asprilla came in and did very well, I think. Just want to touch upon the referee as well, Ali Shanslan, if that's probably pronouncing that name wrong, but his refereeing today was so hard to watch. I think Osimhen should have at least got one penalty. How he's giving free kick to Alanyaspor there, I don't know. Incredible, amazing. I don't know what more to say about that. It is just so many small situations as well where Davinson Sanchez is not getting the free kick when he's getting stamped on. Torreira, the elbow, where Alanyaspor in the end getting a free kick in a very dangerous situation. It's just these small things all the way, man. How is these kind of referees still having the job? I don't know. How can't you come up with some better referees than you have right now? It's for me unbelievable. And I will not be surprised if they're going to throw in Yasin Kol as the referee against Besiktas. If they're doing that, I hope our board will scream out their lungs, because that's not acceptable after the derby where we didn't get a single free kick for in the second half. That's not acceptable, and that should not happen whatsoever. But again, the 3 points extremely important. Can't stress that enough. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and comment down below what you think about the game and what you think about our situation and how we probably should play. You know, what do you think about Singo and how Boris Alper in that role? Should some other replace him or whatever? Yes, hope to see you soon. Bye.